Hi, friend. So, this week we're going to talk about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, this aspect of perfectionism. And especially in working with my organizations, my teams, and my projects this past year, one thing that has really hindered my ability to get something from my head and out the door and sharing it with the world has been perfectionism. I ruminate over drafts, over words, over structures, over so many things to a point when my fatigue and my exhaustion kicks in and I'm just like, I'm done. And a big part of just being able to get my ideas and out the door, out of my head, has been to also build a healthier relationship with this aspect of perfectionism. And so I'm going to share with you a few things that I've learned over the past year of perfectionism that help me better understand where it comes from, its history, and also what I can do about it. And so the very first thing is this aspect of perfectionism as a form of trauma that we've incurred. We react to trauma, we react to adversity, we react to other people having a negative reaction to us to be perfect, to shape-shift ourselves into another vision of what somebody prefers us to be. I thought that being perfect or being what somebody had thought was perfect was somehow going to make them like me more. People are also not perfect, people are also biased. With all of those layers, how can I simply shapeshift, mold myself to this other thing, right? When we mold ourselves into what other people want us to be, who are we at the end of the day? And the second part to this is the things that people are inflicting and throwing at us is really not ours to keep, right? Our work to do. And whenever somebody comes at us from a place of harm, discrimination, really low energy, that's simply their work to do. And a big part of just my journey of realizing what is my work to do has also been to clearly delineate the work that other people have to do for themselves. At the end of the day, we can't take on any of the trauma, any of the pains, any of all these things that people are going through, even as much as we love them. And the second point is this aspect of perfectionism as a part of this larger industrial capitalism complex. Last week we chatted a little bit about this aspect of capitalism as this belief that if other people believe in it, the idea exists. And the funny part about perfectionism is that if people play into it, perfectionism as a complex will continue to thrive. And perfectionism, productivity, or the antithesis of it, laziness, there's a lot of these terminologies that equate our value as humans within society tied to labor, tied to the larger capitalism complex. And so these systems around us want us to believe nothing more than we are our labor, we are the things that we produce into society. And when we think so little of ourselves, we end up having this giant void within us that we just constantly want to fill. We have this giant void within us that we are not perfect, and so we then yearn and reach for these different complexes around us, capitalism, and then we consume, buy, and we keep trying to fill this void, not realizing that this void was created because of a larger system that didn't give us value intrinsically, but said that if we didn't produce, we didn't have value. As a part of dismantling perfectionism is dismantling this larger notion that somehow labor is the way that we are creating value as humans. Actuality, as humans, we have value just as a being in this world. All beings have value just by existing. And of course, we have to coexist with one another. By letting go of perfectionism, we also let go of the over-extraction of labor, but also the void it's creating within everyone else. As we think about all of these things, one can deduce that letting go of perfectionism is also, in a way, very liberatory, breaking away from these systems around us. And lastly, number 3, the antidote of perfectionism is really compassion. And one thing that's come up in Buddhist teachings again and again is really this aspect that the thinking brain, all the things that come out of it, you can't think your way out of what came out of the thinking brain. And so I think of perfectionism as the same way. You can't fix, you can't make perfect the problems that came out of the fixing, perfecting brain. And so we have to think about how we're not just trying to move forward, but then we end up in this perpetual loop, but rather how do we get out of the loop to begin with? A big part of that is having compassion, having self-love, having kindness for ourselves within the process to not only undo all of this learning that's been put onto us, but also undoing all the trauma that we've harbored, whether it's at an individual level or generationally. And so, yeah, we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders without realizing it at times, aka perfectionism. And so in showing up for ourselves in a way that either the system or the people didn't show up for ourselves, with self-kindness, compassion, love, patience, trust, that we can eject out of this loop and to create a narrative for ourselves that best suits us. And ultimately, to be able to put our ideas into reality around us and do so in a sustainable way, a healthier way, in a way that brings us and everyone else more joy in the process. And so with that, hope you can also find a healthier balance with perfectionism, help you to get out of your head. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.